Kamala Harris made the embarrassing admission that Joe Biden sent her call to voicemail during an interview on MSNBC's The Weekend.
I want to get to some news that just came out today with President Biden. His spokesperson said that he is going to now start doing radiation for his prostate cancer. Have you talked to him about it?
I called him earlier.
How's he doing?
I have not talked to him. I just left him a message after I heard the news. I was otherwise on the event, at the event. I think Joe Biden is a fighter, and that is what I told him and left him a message. He's a fighter, and he's going to fight this. And we're going to hold him up and pray for his recovery and for his strength and for his family.
You write about him a lot in the book. Have you talked to him about the book?
Yes.
Yeah. What did he say?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, come on. It's just you and I.
Yeah, right.
Madam Vice President, thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it.
Online commentators mocked the former VP, with this person saying he probably changed his number so she can't get a hold of him. The snub comes after the shock news that Joe Biden will undergo radiation treatment for his prostate cancer.
Former US President Joe Biden is undergoing radiation treatment for prostate cancer. He was first diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer in May. The treatment is expected to last 5 weeks and marks a new phase in the former US president's care. Last month, he also received skin cancer treatment.
Despite Kamala Harris not being in the spotlight since her election defeat to Donald Trump, the former VP has managed to humiliate herself on multiple occasions recently during her book tour. One of her favourite lines to repeat over and over is that Donald Trump does not have a mandate.
Crazy woke world of celebrities. Rita, let's have some more Kamala.
Well, we can't get enough of Kamala. Here she is arriving at a university, and I always suspect when I see her these days, she's been to happy hour.
Closest election for President of the United States in the 21st century.
Wow, I know that's right. And a Howard grad did that here.
And a Howard grad did.
She's at Howard University repeating lies that everyone there is too stupid to correct her on. It was not the closest in the 21st century.
It was definitely.
She lost every swing state. She won the Electoral College by enormous margin, and she even lost the popular vote. First time a Republican has won the popular vote in, 20 years? So she's repeating a verifiable lie.
Yes.
And those university academics and students...
I think you're diagnosing. I don't think it was a happy hour. I think it was a happy 90 minutes. It was definitely...
Well, look, I just thought, I take your point that they were all sort of backing her in and clapping her in, but I felt like it was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Hey, your Uber's here. Come on, let's get you to the Uber. Time to go. Yeah.
And the Center of American Experiment President John Heinrich agreed, saying the lies she keeps spreading are sheer fantasy.
Before I let you go, I do want to bring up a great piece you wrote this week about the lies that Kamala Harris keeps spreading about how close last year's election was. Here she is again this week.
It was the tightest, closest presidential election in the 21st century. He does not have a mandate. That is not a mandate. That is not a mandate.
Now, John, you quite rightly claim that Harris is doing this to help sell her book. She's on a book tour at the moment. But surely she can come up with something a bit better than this, just completely rewriting the narrative.
Well, something that's not so obviously false. I mean, there have been 7 presidential elections in the 21st century, and this was the third most decisive of those elections. President Trump won, I think it was 312 to 226. I suppose Harris would say that she was talking about the so-called popular vote, which has zero legal significance, but that isn't true either. In the year 2000, the popular vote margin was only 500,000 votes. In 2024, Trump had 2.3 million more votes than Kamala Harris. So she is just making this up. It is sheer fantasy.
John Heinrich, thank you so much for joining me.
Kamala Harris is evidently not over her election loss, blasting President Trump in her latest interview.
I think he has a vengeance campaign, which is, I think, really exposing the petty nature of who he is and his deep level of insecurity, that he feels that he has to use the power of the federal government and the United States Department of Justice to go after people who have disagreed with him, or as prosecutors who have used a combination of the facts and law to prosecute him. From everything I know, Attorney General James based a conviction, or she didn't convict them, but based her charges, which was then resulted in a conviction, based on facts in the law. But he can't take that. He can't take the fact that he's been held accountable, and so he is on a vengeance campaign.
But she did give credit where it was due and commended Donald Trump on his brokering of a peace deal between Israel and Hamas.
President Trump will be on his way to the Middle East. They have this deal between Israel and Palestine. Both former Secretaries of State Hillary Clinton and Antony Blinken have commended President Trump for the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Do you agree with them? Should he be commended?
Look, I don't think that we should hold in credit where it's due. I mean, first of all, let me say about that deal, I really do hope it becomes real and that the hostages are out, that Gaza is no longer being treated with such brutality of force, that aid goes in. And I commend the people who have been a part of this process. I'd commend the Qataris, the Egyptians, and the president.
This was in stark contrast to her Democrat colleague Barack Obama, who refused to acknowledge Trump's peace deal and was even called out for it on mainstream media.
Honestly, it's not unfair to say if President Obama's going to write a whole post about a peace deal, maybe he should acknowledge the president that brokered it.
If Donald Trump gets a peace deal, he deserves the credit.